Howdy mates, good afternoon. It is Sunday, June 27th, 2021. I'm over at the Bruckner Nature Center, which is near the town of Troy. Funny thing, I was not too far from this area yesterday. How ironic. But today is it's a warm one. It's probably in the mid 80s right now, with a slight bit of humidity. As you can see, I'm kind of sweating like a pig. But aside from that, I want to focus this video on two things. For one, we've got ourselves the Purple-Stemmed Angelica, and then I will soon transition to talking about the Eastern Cottonwood tree. But to start with the Purple-Stemmed Angelica, they are quite a distinctive herb. Perennial too, so they come back each year. And they call it Purple-Stemmed Angelica because as you can, I don't know if you guys can really tell, but looking at their whole stem, it has like a purple-ish color to it. And, you know, looking at the flowers too, they come in these large umbels, which kind of have like the flowers have a similar shape to an umbrella. Hence the name. And usually the cluster kind of reminds me of looking at fireworks. That's how I like to, that's an analogy that I like to use. But unfortunately, I really don't want to walk right up to it because there is a bunch of stinging nettle surrounding me. And as you can see, I am only wearing shorts, so I really don't feel like experiencing that type of pain. But yeah, these guys, they can grow really tall. I mean, you can see that it's taller than even I am. I mean, you probably have to figure that's probably about 10 feet high. I mean, and they grow very fast too, because you figure they don't really face too much competition, you know, since this is predominantly stinging nettle. So for them, it's really no issue to grow. And they usually like to have partial to full sunlight. And as you can see, that's where we kind of are. We're sort of in an open area at the moment. So this is actually a host plant to the short-tailed swallowtail. Still a little early to see them right now, you know, in their caterpillar form, but they rely on these plants. No different than how the monarch butterfly relies on the common milkweed. So, yeah, essentially same thing. They like to feed on the, you know, vascular tissue and even the flowers themselves. And, you know, you may be thinking, like, what do they really look like? Well, just based on my description, since we can't really see them yet, they're a decent-sized butterfly. You probably figure they're probably about the size of my palm, not including my fingers, but about just at the palm right here, just as a comparison. And they have like yellow and blue bands on their back. It's actually really cool looking. And then towards the center of their back, towards the bottom, they kind of have like a reddish blue dot on them. So it's a common distinguishing attribute to them. A way to help identify the short-tailed swallowtail. Yeah, I said that right. It's kind of a tongue twister. But you may also be wondering too, like, do they really provide any medicinal benefit? Actually, as a matter of fact, they do. You know, actually with the leaves, they can actually be used in a tea. They can actually help with, you know, providing treatment for even rheumatoid arthritis. I mean, that's a big deal. They can even help with common cold and fever, too. But of course, they have to make sure that it's dried and prepared properly, of course. Now, in terms of whether this plant is really toxic to consume, not really sure. I think it is pretty safe, but you probably still want to boil it or have it with something. I doubt you would really want to have it raw. But I think one of the only hazards about this plant is they actually have a particular chemical called a Furocoumarin. Can't remember the exact name. It's a bit long and it's like very scientific. But either way, this chemical that I'm talking about, actually upon exposure, it can increase risk of skin sensitivity to like the ultraviolet rays, and it can also increase the risk of getting dermatitis, and that is a very serious condition too. So that's one thing to keep in mind about the particular Purple-Stemmed Angelica. So alrighty, that's all I have for the Purple-Stemmed Angelica. I'm definitely going to provide a link or two regarding the plant if you want to read further up on it. And I think I'm going to split up this video and make a second one pertaining to the Eastern Cottonwood. So alright mates, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And once again, Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks.